All right, in a new message, King Charles called all Olympians an inspiration as the Summer Games ended yesterday. Royal expert Patricia Treble joins us now for a Royal Roundup. And Patricia, the King was not alone. There was also a message to the British athletes from the Princess and Prince of Wales, who actually William is sporting a little vacation scruff, we see.
Oh, yes. He is definitely in vacation mode. I mean, you could look at the beard, and I've got to wonder if Kate's going to allow him to keep it. But they were all thanking all the athletes. And I think that's lovely. I love these messages of support and of thanks from everyone. I mean, it really was a good games. And especially when you listen to the King's one, I mean, it's worth taking a read of it because he not only thanks those who, of course, made medal, but he thanks everyone who was there. Like, so all the coaches, everyone who was participating, they are the best in the world. And what I particularly liked was that it wasn't just aimed at the British, but it was also aimed at all the Commonwealth athletes. And two Commonwealth nations, St. Lucia and Botswana, they had their first gold medals at the Olympics ever. And that's pretty phenomenal. And so the fact that he was calling everyone out, I quite liked.
All right. During the past couple of weeks, Patricia, we also saw plenty of royals in Paris to cheer on the athletes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, basically, all of Europe's palaces were emptied as everyone went to Paris for the Olympics. I mean, for a lot of them, they could just hop on a train. We saw some British royals, too. Princess Anne was there with her husband for nearly 2 weeks. She's, of course, an IOC member as well as the head of the British Olympic Association. And then she no sooner had left than her sister-in-law, Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh, was there for her athletic events, especially field hockey and cycling. She's a really big cyclist. And it won't end there because, of course, the Paralympics are about to start. And that is Prince Edward is incredibly involved in that. And so he'll be in Paris for most of that as well.
All right. Patricia, meanwhile, there are growing demands for the King to respond to the UK riots. What's the latest there?
Yeah. So, I mean, this was kind of it was the difference on the screens. You had all the civil unrest in Britain at the same time you had the Olympics. And people were wondering where the King was. He issued a statement. He's been being briefed by the Prime Minister, by the police. And he issued a statement saying, in particular, commending the social, the community causes who really said he's countered the aggression of the few. And look, in general, the monarch does not comment on current political events. So the fact that you haven't heard more from him is not unexpected. But what we will see is as things calm down and as a royal visit doesn't take away from the security issues, you're going to be seeing the King and other royals there. There's no question about that.
All right, switching gears, let's talk about Harry and Meghan because they have been back in the spotlight over the last couple of weeks. They were featured both on the cover of People magazine, and Patricia, they also did an interview on CBS Sunday Morning.
Yeah. And this comes on the heels of the ITV interview that he did talking about the tabloids. I mean, they have been everywhere for the last few weeks. So for the People magazine interview, it was really Harry talking about how the King won't even take his calls. And it really stems to the fact that Harry seems to think that his dad can convince the government to give him police protection. And a lot of royal sources are saying that's actually not the case. The King can't do that. And so there's no communication at all. And then a few days later, they were on CBS. They were talking to Jane Pauley about a small online initiative they've got for the parents of kids who have been really badly affected by social media. And it just seems like it was a lot of different topics. It has been. And I think that they're almost in a case of stepping on their own message because they've been so much in the public eye in the last few weeks. So you've got to wonder, and it keeps going.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll keep watching that. Meanwhile, Princess Beatrice has just been named the best dressed person in the UK.
Yeah, this is wonderful. I'm going to say I'm completely happy for her, and she deserves it. So the Tatler Best Dressed list, everyone watches it really, really closely. She was called the Princess of Perfection. And she completely deserves it. She has completely transformed herself, especially in the last few years. She is the height of fashion. She's very, very stylish. And if you remember back, this is a long transformation because if you remember back to the wedding of William and Kate in 2011, she wore a disastrous hat, what can only be described as the brown toilet seat hat. And she took it, and she admitted it was a mistake, but she took it and she ran. So she actually auctioned it off for charity and made an absolute fortune for a charity of hers. So I say congratulations to her. She deserves it.
For sure, for sure. And by the way, love people that take chances. You got to take chances,
You do.
right, in this life when it comes to fashion or anything else. Patricia Treble, good to see you on this Monday morning. Thanks for this.
Thank you.